How's it going, guys? For fighting's sake here, we are joined with none other than youngest in charge, Stephen Clancy Simmons. First of all, Stephen, how are you?
Good, mate, I'm good.
So we'd like to know, how are you feeling for your fight coming up for your first amateur title bout?
I'm actually really excited, man. It'll be my first 5 round. So I just can't wait to go in there and get through the gears this one. I feel like my last one, I breezed through the fight, to be honest. I was really pushing the pace, but I never got out of like second, third gear. So I'm excited if it goes into the 2 extra rounds, like proper, the championship rounds, proper championship mentality. Really just show when I put the burners on how long I can go for and what I can do in it.
Nice one. So we'd like to know, what do you think of your upcoming opponent, Garon Shamar?
Like, I think he's good, man. I know that he was fighting at flyweight, so he's obviously came up to 61 now, and then fight me at 63.5, so bit of a jump in weight. He's big, he's tall, he's built his game around being kind of longer. It'll be a good fight. I think he's good, and I respect the fact that he wants to fight me, he wants to take the challenge. I respect anyone that wants to get in the cage with me, but I'm not going to respect him as much when I'm in there, you know what I mean? I'm going to go in there with bad intentions, and it's all violence, so I just want to put my hands on him, innit?
We saw in one of your earlier career interviews with MMA UK where you talked about the law of attraction and how by the ages 18, 19 you'd feel you'd be ready to go pro. With a win at BMF 11 and securing BMF gold, along with we've now seen you've been matched up for another title shot on AFC, do you feel that your pro debut is in reach with success on these shows?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going at a pace where I'm getting consistent fights, I'm always active. So it's more activity for me, because James has my plan mapped out. He knows what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, where I'm going to go. Whatever he tells me to do, when I win both these, take these 2 titles, obviously strap season there, I've got so much more experience to gain from this year at amateur. It's probably going to be my biggest year fighting. I know that the IMAFs are coming up towards the end of the year, so I'd really like to do the IMAF Worlds before I go pro, but Scotland doesn't have a team, and there's just so much that goes on behind the scenes to do with that. Maybe get 1 or 2 more fights and then look at going pro.
You've demonstrated multiple times that you're the new breed of superstar in the MMA scene, with finishes coming both from striking and submissions, sometimes on the same opponent. What do you feel will be the key to victory come March the 1st?
Definitely a new hybrid of MMA athlete like me and my brother Sean. Like, we've not just been brought up doing grappling, or we've not just been brought up doing striking. It's when we first went into the gym, it was MMA. It's not like we'll do some punching, we'll do some wrestling and try, like everything is for the full sole purpose of the sport MMA. I think that's what separates us from a lot of today's sort of people. I believe in game plans, but not yet, because amateur, like, people are so diverse. You could have one fight, I've spoken about this before, my last fight I'm not the same person I was then, and before that fight and before that fight. Same with my opponent, he's not going to be the same guy he was the last time he got in the cage, because MMA is a full sport, it's constantly evolving, people get better, they progress at different things. I just believe in staying ready, staying humble and training constantly. I know that action kills doubt, and the action that I'm taking with my diet, my nutrition, my training kills any doubt I have when I step in that cage. That's kind of my keys to victory, is staying on top of myself and make sure there's no stone left unturned by the time I step in that cage.
Next off, we'd like to know a bit about how you ended up pursuing MMA and influential people that've been in your life.
I got in a gym very early. My mum was a dance teacher, and when she was teaching I used to just be a bit mental, and there was a Muay Thai gym next door. My mum was like, right, I'll send him in there, so I must have been like 4 or 5. The coach told my mum that I was mental, like I was doing cartwheels when he was trying to teach and like swinging from bags and that. My dad, he used to do strength and conditioning with fighters in that gym. Because he was doing that, he was allowed to take his sons, like my brothers now, Sean and Logan and all that, for sessions like during the kids classes. It got to a point where the coach told my mum like I was uncontrollable. So then the next kind of class I got into trouble, and my dad Sean, he was like, come with us basically, don't mess about with him. Like, he used to just put me in my place, shouted at me or whatever, and I admired that. I really took to that. Since then I love training with him. It all just spiraled from there. I moved into a different primary school at like primary 5 going into 6. I really struggled to like fit in. I got in quite a lot of fights and dealt with like a lot of new emotions and stuff like that. That kind of turned me to training a lot more. Then at the start of high school, I was always training, and then there was kind of like 2 weeks in summer where I fell away from it a wee bit, and I think I got to the point where I was training so much at a young age that I got to that age where all my friends were going out, and I was like, I want to do that, I want to be out with my friends, because then my mum and my dad told me, like, look, if you don't want to train, you're going to need to focus on schoolwork, because I was training all the time and they were fine with that, but I didn't pay attention in school. I hated hated it, absolutely hated it. I think it took me like 2 weeks and I was like, nah, patch this, I'm going back to the gym. And when I went back to the gym, I never kind of turned back. It was 6 days a week.
So we want to mention what an excellent performance you had on ADCC 2 weeks ago. We want to know, how do you feel about the recognition the grappling scene gets here in the UK?
I came up on a Scottish grappling scene before I was fighting MMA. I would always be at grappling competitions, like I love it, I enjoy it. I don't feel like enough people are really pushing it to the public eye. Like, it's not got enough exposure, it's not got enough like people going and taking footage of it, documenting it and really getting it out. Jiu-jitsu and grappling in Scotland is definitely growing, but it's not nearly unlocked its potential that it could be. I feel like for unconfident kids and stuff like that, it can really help so many people. Jiu-jitsu, you hear so many stories about people going into the gym and finding sports they love, and jiu-jitsu is like one of the main ones that people really do enjoy. I definitely feel like it doesn't get recognition it deserves, but it is going in the right direction.
So how important has your sponsors been helping you with fight camps and getting you to where you are today?
I wouldn't be in the position I'm in if it wasn't without my sponsors really helping me. I've got a couple really good main sponsors that are foundations for everything that I'm doing. Shout out to German Doner Kebab, CGNS Contracting, and then there's Commercial Cleaning Scotland, my strength and conditioning coach Adam, so Enhanced Performance, and then my physio Jack at More Life Sports, my nutritionist Lee, Boxing Science Nutrition, shout out to him because he's doing a super good job as well. Can I shout out one more thing? Shout out to my mum, both my grands, especially my gran Jill, she's cooking all my meals, she's a real one. Even my mum, like they all push for me to do the best that I can do. Shout out to my dad as well, helping me for my last jits comp. He's a pain, but he helped me make weight. So shout out to all my family, man, they really do help me.
Lastly, we'd like to just go into a quick fire round, if that's alright with you, Stephen. First question for you is, who's your favourite fighter?
Islam Makhachev.
Respect it. If you had to pick, knockout or submission?
Has to be a KO, yeah. Needs to be a KO.
What is your dream car?
So, it's quite specific. A Bentley Bentayga S Black Edition. I just think it's such a cool car, man, it's sick.
Your favourite cheat meal?
There's so many. A chocolate chip cookie and a pepperoni pizza. It needs to be a Woody's pepperoni pizza, barbecue base, and then sometimes I add sausage and mince, and it's just,
If you could be a champion in any other sport, non-martial art, what would it be?
That's a good question, that actually. Ice hockey, because then I can still fight.
So thank you very much, Stephen, for your interview. We really appreciate your time, and we wish you the best of luck come March the 1st. Go get that gold, mate.